America's first serial killer, the world's largest fair, a city built on a criminal underworld, the battle between heaven and hell. So what the fuck am I talking about? Well, I'm rambling about one of the best books that has never been made into a film or TV show, The Devil in the White City. In this video, I'll dive into what the book is about, rumours and speculation for an upcoming Scorsese film, why it needs to be made into a movie, and how I would make the feature if I was producing. Set in 1893 Chicago, author Eric Larson dives into two real men, Daniel H. Burnham, a respected architect, and H. Holmes, America's first serial killer. Daniel Burnham is an architect who has struggled to gain respect in the industry. After meeting his partner, John Root, the two joined together to create one of the biggest architecture firms in all of Chicago. Burnham and Root rose through the ranks until they were selected to build a World Fair. Essentially, Chicago wanted to compete with the recently created Eiffel Tower. To accomplish this, they came up with the White City, a visionary landscape of white buildings set in incandescent wonderland. The city featured the first ever Ferris wheel, a show from Buffalo Bill, moving pictures, presentations from Thomas Edison, and villages from countless countries. In order to create this dream world, Burnham had to overcome politics, the death of his best friend, horrible weather, and fires to try and create the city. Meanwhile, we are introduced to H. Holmes. Holmes is a clever man who seemingly always gets his way. While he is clearly manipulative, there is nothing too creepy or unnerving about him. That is until he moves out to Chicago. Holmes realized that with the creation of the fair, he had to build property close by to capitalize on it. In order to build his murder castle, he conned countless construction companies and workers by never paying them. Once it was built, the true evil nature of Holmes came out. He would lure women into his house with his charm, deep blue eyes, and promise of wealth and marriage. Holmes would marry them and create false pledges of children and moving out to Europe together. But that was never the case. Instead, he had an acid vat under his house that he would burn his victims in alive. Afterward, he would skin them himself, sell the bones to the medical school, and get the life insurance on these innocent women and children. And that's just the beginning. While these two men never meet, their paths get closer and closer. Burnham's dream of building heaven on earth is achieved, while Holmes slowly creates hell right beside it. Soon after, Holmes is investigated by Chicago's top detective, Frank Geyer. But as Frank chases a web of lies across the country, he discovers something much worse. In the basement of the murder castle, Geyer discovers the skeletons of Holmes' best friend's children. Ultimately, Holmes was charged and executed on account of 9 murders that we know of, while Burnham returned to his architecture firm until he passed away. Over the past 10 years, this book has bounced around between directors and actors like a basketball. Yeah, I'm not proud of that one either. In 2010, Leonardo DiCaprio bought the film rights to the book and apparently set it up as a feature with Paramount. He attached an indie director known as Martin Scorsese, and Leonard was obviously set to play H. Holmes. As with all Hollywood projects, this shit fell through. In 2019, however, Hulu announced it was developing the project as a big budget series. According to Deadline, Todd Field was set to direct the first 2 episodes, with Keanu Reeves starring. So far, that is all we know, and since it's shit all, let me give you the full. The Devil in the White City has to be a TV show. The novel is just too goddamn dumpy to be a movie. I would do it as an 8x40 minute crime drama TV show. And fuck it, A24 and HBO can make it as well. In my head, it is a balance between Mindhunter, Peaky Blinders, and Succession. I hate shows that drag on for too long, so that's why it has to be tight and short and to the point. But who is going to be the director and showrunner? As soon as I started reading The Devil in the White City, I knew the director that was perfect for this book. The crime connoisseur and one of the greatest directors of all time, David Fincher. Fincher's style is built for this show, not only for the focus on a serial killer, but also for the importance of Chicago as a setting. The disgusting, dark and dank world of 1893 Chicago is a center point of this book. And who is better than the man who created worlds like Seven, Fight Club and Zodiac? On top of this, his focus on blind ambition in the social network matches Burnham's personality perfectly. Also, the whole ending with the detective chasing Holmes is very, very similar to Seven and Fight Club. Choosing the writer for the show was a challenge. In my head, I was thinking Aaron Sorkin, but I knew the crime focus was not a good fit. Instead, I'm going a little bit left field. Nick Pizzolatto. Most of you probably won't know him, but Nick is the writer of True Detective, one of the greatest crime TV shows ever made. I think Nick would not only create these deep and compelling characters, but also keep that level of intrigue that True Detective is so famous for. His ability to keep you hooked is unlike anything I've ever seen. Also, the nihilistic world he creates is a perfect fit for The Devil in the White City and David Fincher. Now for the actors. The fun part. I would cast Jude Law as H.H. Holmes and Matt Damon as Burnham, the Ripley pair. Jude Law just has this charm and charisma that is exactly what Holmes used to use to lure women in. His eyes have this sparkle that fits the killer's description perfectly. Matt Damon, on the other hand, has this drive and ambition he taps into when acting that matches Burnham, a man who will stop at nothing to create his dream. While Matt constantly plays this character, Jude Law almost never does, and that's exactly why I think it'll work. Essentially, it should shock audiences because they aren't used to seeing him play a serial killer. For cinematography, I would simply go with Jeff Cronenwell. While he regularly works with Fincher, it is mainly because of his ability to create a moody and crime-ridden world. As with my going solo video, I'm going with the same composer, Daniel Hart. Yes, I'm biased, but I truly believe he would smash the soundtrack for this film. He could balance that creepy, unnerving vibe like in The Green Knight with the ambition and drive of Burnham in The Old Man and the Gun. The Devil in the White City is one of the best books I've ever read. And I think what is so fascinating is how little people know about this story. It is such an incredible tale of ambition and power that is contrasted with evil at its purest form. Two things I know that will grab an audience from the get-go. The public just needs to see the story in a visual form. On top of this, I learned so much from this book without even realizing it. For example, Juicy Fruit and the first ever Ferris wheel were created at the World Expo. I learned all about the shows of Buffalo Bill and the assassination of the mayor of Chicago. Ultimately, The Devil in the White City is designed to be an award-winning TV show. Now it comes down to who gets it first. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Only a small percentage of people who watch my videos subscribe. Also, if you want to check out some articles or reviews or any of my short films, they're all on the website.